Junk files my ass. Or I can get rid of Twitter. I don't use that one anymore.
All in device audio. I am mute device audio. So it says I can be heard.
Yeah, you went. All the things you said before weren't heard.
I may be a nerd, but I'm not a total tech nerd.
Robin, can you hear me?
I was getting suspicious. Never put you as a speaker.
Okay, so let's do this. Let's stop my video.
Robin,
Okay,
can you
stop
hear
my
me?
video, but now everybody can hear me. Okay.
Robin, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you now, Robert. It's very loud where we're at because we have swamp coolers. So it's going to be difficult for us to hear other people talking. Okay, Ryan says he can hear us. Okay, let's mute that. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay, we can hear now. All right. Let's pause share. Alt tab. Alt tab. I need to mute here. Now we're good. We're getting there. I promise we're getting there. This is something new for us. We've never gone completely remote from another location. All right. Okay, so we now have, let's get going on our meeting so we can get going. So welcome to Space Station Requiem. Our agenda is we're going to quickly recap our previous meetings, recap what departments and duties there are, go over our upcoming events, earning rank and promotion points, and then we're going to do a brief closed session for any Starfleet Command members only that are joining us. Hi Ryan, I see you on our YouTube. So kind of our meeting flows, we try to allow time for the first 15 minutes for technical glitches, for people to arrive late, general chatter as people who haven't seen each other in a while. We do ask that everyone attempt to stay on topic when we are going through the PowerPoint. I do allow for a question and answer sessions at the end before we do anything that is close to ship business. We try to leave all the ship's actual business and anything that are ship's issues to the very end, and try to keep the fun public stuff to the beginning. There is a chat function on Zoom that you can use if you're zooming in with us so that the questions stay relevant to the discussion. If you are following on with YouTube, you can also chat there with us and ask any questions there. We are watching there, so we'll also answer the questions from there. There is about a 1 to 2 minute delay from what we're saying live to what actually shows up on YouTube, so please allow for that. We do not follow a set protocol other than that we ask everyone to please be polite. We do have ranks and titles, but that just kind of goes with the flow. They are very appropriate if you forget the person's name. You know, like I'm Fleet Captain Robin Kearney Frazier. You can call me Captain, especially if you forget that my name is Robin. It's kind of if you'll, gee, I just met a whole bunch of new people. I don't remember who it is, but I remember that person's the captain. I remember that person is second in command, so I'm going to call them commander, even though that they might be a lieutenant or something, or if they're wearing a cosplay uniform that has rank on it. You know, it's not an offense to anybody for us to refer to somebody by their rank. It's just a matter of sometimes we meet a lot of people, and it just saves our sanity to just refer to somebody by their rank than try to remember their name when we first meet them. After we've met somebody 2 or 3 different times, then we know, then we can put a name with a face. With Zoom, it is helpful that we can see everybody's names on there, so that makes it easier. We do ask that everyone be mindful that we do have guests, that this is live on several social media platforms. The link to our YouTube video live went out on Facebook, it went out on Instagram, it went out on Twitter. So we do ask that people remember that this is live, this is our public presence. So how's everybody doing right now? This is kind of a moment where everybody can take a moment and assess. It's been kind of crazy since we met this time last month. I'll admit it. There's been some days that I've sat back and pardon the phrasing, I've sat back and I've said, "Holy shit, is this for real?"
Right.
I was raised in a mixed community, mixed family. I have a lot of mixed race friends. We take any health risks, any health threats very seriously. We do have a lot of friends who are disabled and living with chronic illnesses. So yeah, it's you know, if you ever need somebody to talk to, feel free to reach out. Our group is always there. We try to keep our public groups fun, free of politics. And we try to keep any of our public groups so that they're a break. We want you to have somewhere where you can get away for a while. A lot of that's what cosplay is about. And that's what fandoms are about, is it's a chance to get away from reality for a little bit and to give your self a chance to recharge so that you can face reality with a new and fresh perspective. So our previous meetings, we frequently cover what is Space Station Requiem, our history in Texas, our history in the Star Trek world, what our structure is, and why we've chosen Starfleet Command. Space Station Requiem is a pretty much unique chapter in all of fandom. We allow any genre of fandom to join in. We are very open and accepting. I think right now we've got Star Trek, we've got Star Wars. I think we've seen the entire gamut of DC comics and Marvel comics and anime and everything showing up in our public group. Pretty much everything is fair game for posting in that group for anything from a fan fans' perspective of movies, shows, cartoons, comic books, cosplay world, anime. That is what we're all about. We started out in Corpus Christi, Texas, which is on the bayfront, the Gulf Coast of Gulf of Mexico and Texas. It was kind of, it still is kind of a middle of nowhere Texas, and it was very difficult to find other people in fandom without all the politics. That's our big rule: is no politics. This is here for fun, and when you start involving politics, you lose the fun. For a while, we had to shut down, and then September, October of last year, I was asked if I could resurrect it and unmothball it, so we did. We're now out in Bandera County. Our official address is Pipe Creek, Texas, which is about 30 minutes west of San Antonio. We did set up like a 50-mile radius of what would be considered local to Space Station Requiem. Anyone outside of that 50-mile radius would be considered long distance or a correspondence member. So we do have a couple of departments that are divided by that, but people are welcome to join any department. Our place in the Star Trek world. As you can see, we have the Temporal Task Force logo on our screen here. Space Station Requiem is fictionally built on a rift in space that allows all these different dimensions to come through. And our space station is basically there to welcome anybody who comes through, but also kind of do a threat assessment to make sure that they're not there to cause issues. Made for some really great fanfic when we first opened up, and it still makes for a good opportunity for more fandom fiction to be written. Our structure does follow that of the quasi-military, because we do play in the Starfleet Command Quadrant 1 fan base as our parent organization. Now, why did we choose Starfleet Command? A lot of that has to do with the fact that we are given a lot of liberties in how we manage our chapter. We have to do our monthly reporting. We are free to promote up to a certain rank in recognizing our club members' contributions. Okay, we are allowed to promote up to a certain rank in Starfleet Command, so we can recognize our club members' contributions. So we're given a lot of chapter autonomy, which is very important when you run a unique chapter that allows more than just Star Trek. But it also gives us a larger network, a larger fan base in which to tap into. So I'm frequently asked, why should I join Space Station Requiem? Because it's fun. We try to keep it fun. We try to keep online fun. We try to keep our in-person meetings fun. When you join Space Station Requiem and Starfleet Command, you are also tapping into the Guilds of Requiem network. If you ever go to our Guilds of Requiem website, you will see that it is very massive. It is very extensive. There is a lot in there that you are automatically tapped into once you join Starfleet Command and Space Station Requiem as your chapter. We will also go over again what the difference is in departments of when you join and what our expectations are of our members who actually join. It is a give and take. We are a network. Our departments. Command department is myself, Fleet Captain Robin Kearney Fraser. My persona name is Anna Tor. I originally started out in the medical field, so the bad joke is that I was Doc Tor. Our second in command is First Lieutenant Robert Hammock. He is a Marine, so he goes by slightly different ranking structure than what I do, which caused a little bit of a funny gaffe because I forgot. Our communications department handles our social media, website, and graphics. I will ask for before I let anybody into my website, I'm going to ask you to demonstrate your knowledge and the level of trust, because I'm still trying to do repairs. Engineering is our general membership. So if you are anybody within 50 miles of Pipe Creek and you're not sure which department you want to join, Engineering is going to be that department. Marines are our event and activity coordination. They also coordinate with any other fan-based chapters. Medical is our local charity and community resources department. Search and rescue, that is our general membership department for anybody who lives further than 50 miles of Pipe Creek. So that young gentleman, Christopher, who was sitting right next to me, him and his brother, along with Tex Doby in Corpus Christi, Texas, they are our longest standing members in search and rescue. That would be, that would be the department for anybody who's further out than that. Science is our long distance charity and community resources. Security is member services and promotion point and tracking. Anybody who joins our security department, I am going to put you through the rigors and make sure that you are very familiar with Starfleet Command and how the process works. You are going to be the Mr. and Mrs. Know-it-alls of Starfleet Command. So if a member is having a problem and I'm not available, you're going to be the first person they go to say, hey, I'm trying to get this happen. I'm trying to get that happen. Can you help me direct in the right place? Since we don't have security right now, then you would be coming to either Lieutenant Hammock or myself to say, hey, I've been waiting on an answer on something. We ask that you follow our chain of command if you're not getting a response. We do ask that you remember that Starfleet Command is run strictly by volunteers and they have 0 automated systems because they want to keep their membership costs low and they want to maintain the human touch factor. We have some events coming up, our monthly meetings on the 3rd Saturdays of every month, which is right now. It is online. The reason that it's online is because, well, we're the only chapter in Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, New Mexico, in about 5, all the surrounding states. They told me I cannot be Empress Fraser. I cannot be Empress Evil Kitty. I cannot dominate all of this area. Christopher just shook his shoulders and said, why not? So Texas is a large state to cover. So it makes sense for us to have our meetings online. We do have an after meeting meetup at the Shindig. It starts at 5 o'clock in conjunction with the Homesteaders and Preppers Guild meeting. We do stay much later than that. Usually at 6 p.m. the Shindig has events happening. At 8 o'clock, sometimes there's a band playing. We do love to give our patronage to the Shindig as a means of thanks for helping support us. August 26th, the UFO Festival at Wonderland of Americas. We are going to be doing a promotional table. If there's any local fandom chapters that are looking to get in on a promotional opportunity and have some volunteers that they would like to spare, as of right now, it is a go. As we all know, that can change at a moment's notice. We do have an event created off of our page for that table for people to sign up on. Every hour of volunteering, your name will get entered into a drawing for a 1-year Starfleet Command membership. This is open to prospective members as well as current members that are volunteering at the table. So if you, actually, yes, Ryan, we do have Terran Empire and Alt Universe. Yeah, I'm pretty evil, and I have had the ISS Space Station Requiem, and at one point I was Empress Evil Kitty and took over a lot of things. Starfleet International was not appreciative of it. Each hour of volunteering. So you volunteer 1 hour, you get 1 raffle ticket to go into a bowl just for people who are working the table. We do have a separate drawing going for people who visit our table to find out more about Space Station Requiem and Starfleet Command, or any other chapter that is there, any other fan club that is there. I'm going to try to limit it to only 1 or 2 because we don't want to confuse people. Once that it's going to be a family membership to Starfleet Command. in the month of September, when they either join our online meeting or they come out Saturday night and join the after meetup. That is when we will draw for that family membership. After that, our next in-person type event is going to be the Ren Fair Bandera County. Those who are members or prospective members, that are volunteering, each hour you can put your name in the bowl for volunteering. It's going to be a separate drawing. Volunteers will get a food card and will get fed for every 5 hours that they volunteer at the Ren Fair. That is Thanksgiving weekend. That is Saturday and Sunday. So that is a great way to earn also promotion points, which we will be talking about in our closed session of how many points are, is volunteering worth. Rank, what is it? How do you earn it? Why do we have it? Biggest question, is why do we have it? It's a way of thanking our members for the good that they do and for participating in the chapter. We do ask that you help participate in the chapter. This chapter is run on volunteers. Without chapter members, an organization and volunteers, an organization does not happen. It ends up becoming a monarchy of one. I end up being empress, and it ends up being my rules. It gets boring. It's more fun when more people participate. How do you earn it? Participation. Posting in our public group. Helping post, creating posts on the page. We have a group on our website specifically for Space Station Requiem. Get tired of Facebook? You want to get off of there? Let's create some conversation on our website. We actually have a web page for Space Station Requiem. I could certainly use help with that, creating graphics for it, contact in it. The difference between non-commissioned officers, commissioned officers, and flag officers. Starfleet Command does have a officer's command test that you do have to take. And it basically allows you, we do have a policy we set up that in order to be a department head and take on more responsibility, we want you to be more aware of how Starfleet Command works and how the specific departments work and how the club itself works before you take on a department head role. And so we want to save that to those who are going for the extra effort in being a commissioned officer. Flag officers are typically those who have been in Starfleet Command or in fandom for a really, really, really long time. I can only promote so high. I think Lieutenant Commander is the highest that I can promote in the chapter. After that, I have to push it up to Starfleet Command. Promotions can only happen every 6 months. They are not automatic. So just because you've been sitting at a rank for 6 months, you do not automatically get promoted. Yes, Christopher, that's why you're still sitting at your rank. He's like, okay, yeah, whatever, Ma. You do have to be participating. You do have to be doing. You do have to be following through in order to get promoted. And the other question was that I get a lot is, holy crap, how long have you been doing this? I found an original Starfleet International certificate that is as old as I am.
Wow.
Yes. Wow.
Yeah. Can I interrupt real quick with something?
Pardon?
Can I interrupt real quick with something?
Sure.
I was going over the Articles of Federation recently, and as a fleet captain, the highest that you yourself are allowed to promote is for the Marine Corps ranks, the highest you're allowed to promote to is colonel, and the other ranks, the highest you're allowed to promote to is captain. Everything else has to go through the Admiralty Board.
But that's not as a fleet captain, that's as a commanding, you have to look as a commanding officer of the chapter. And we'll get more into more detail on that when we're having our closed session.
Okay.
Okay. But actively participating in fandoms, I have been doing that since 1990. Highest rank I have ever attained was Rear Admiral in Starfleet International. And when they transferred it over to Starfleet Command, I did take a decline, one step down in rank. And then because of the 4-year break, I did take another break, another step down in grade to fleet captain. So are there any questions before we stop our live sharing and our live feed? Ryan, do you have any questions? I am kind of keeping an eye on over here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn off our live feed to YouTube. And we are going to stop this. And let me come here to Zoom.